Loch Lomond Lotto. Play for a chance to win our monthly cash jackpot amongst other prizes. By entering, you're directly supporting Loch Lomond TV, our community-led media platform, and helping to fund local good causes. Each draw gives you the chance to win while giving back to the local community. For more information, visit our website, lochlomondtv.com, or follow us on social media at Loch Lomond TV.
So welcome to this episode of Real People, and we're going to be talking to Lisa Murray about, well, being an author and also some of your poetry and a few other things you do as well. So Lisa, what got you started in the writing front then?
It was actually a post on Facebook about 6 years ago now. So I struggle a lot with mental health, and I was really struggling with work. I was kind of isolating myself, and I just saw this post on Facebook about a local writing group. I thought, I'll give it a go. It's kind of somewhere to get out of the house, and once I went, we got given a word to write some a poem, so I went away, worked on it all week, went back and get really good feedback on it.
Where was the writing group?
So it actually was the Phoenix, up in Dumbarton, Castle Hill.
Okay.
And it was just kind of started from there. Every poem I was writing, I was getting really good feedback.
Good.
And I was kind of thinking to myself, I might actually have something here.
So it's quite good for your self-esteem as well, and your
Yeah.
confidence, I guess, as well. You can do something like that and get appreciated.
Like, I've always loved writing, but it was never ever something that I would show. Like, I would just keep it to myself.
So did you write like a diary or something every day? Or?
I would maybe like write wee poems when I was at school and stuff, but I would never ever like show anyone.
Right.
So it's a bit nuts now that I've actually found something that I'm really good at and
Good. Aye, so
I enjoy it as well.
Okay, so you were saying, well, how many books have you got out now?
I'm working on number 10.
Number 10. No slouch then, eh?
It needs to get done. I'm kind of.
You quite enjoy it. I don't know, but I do a bit of writing myself. But do you find you like to write every day?
I try and write every day, so I'm setting myself a challenge. So I go to a writing group. I go to Leaving Lits on a Wednesday. I'm up in the Vale Library, and what we do is we get given a word every week, and we'll get away. And so I have kind of dropped away from poetry for a while because I was working on the book. So I would maybe put the word into the chapter. So I wanted to set myself a challenge because I realised when I went to the open mic that I didn't even read because I wasn't writing enough poems.
Aye.
So I thought to myself, right, I'm going to set myself a challenge. So for the next 365 days, I'm going to write a poem every day.
Okay, well, so you will be writing every day then?
Yeah.
I mean, is there a certain time of day that's better for you to write?
I try and kind of write more at night. It's kind of, you kind of forget about it and you think, oh no, I've got a poem to write.
Okay. It's like, okay, so I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
I'll get up like 6:30
Yeah.
and start writing, and then I'm too tired to do it by 10 o'clock, you know. But no,
I've sort of realised that it's kind of becoming a rant. Like, I'm kind of moaning about people,
okay,
and the
right.
poems kind of think what's happening during that day.
So today's rant is, and then you'll
I'll
start
be
writing.
talking about this, I'll write one about Loch Lomond TV.
Oh no! Okay, well, you show us that one. Your book, I've got one here, and these books are available on Amazon, eh?
Yeah.
This is called The Bucket List. Can you tell us a wee bit about this one?
Yeah, so this is actually part 1 of 2. So I was saying I suffered a lot with mental health. I'm actually getting tested for autism.
Right.
So it's kind of like a lot of stuff about childhood, about being in school, trying to fit in with friends. I really wanted to challenge myself to write something, but I didn't want it to be in like a biography.
Right.
So I put it into the third person.
Okay.
So Anna, that's the lead in the book, is me.
Right.
So everything that's in the book is true.
So you
But
find it easier to write about yourself from another person's point of view?
Yeah. There's a lot in it, especially kind of the second part of the book. So like my mental health and stuff. My mental health came out of a dip about a year and a half ago, and that was really hard to kind of put into how do I put all this into
Actually,
the third
it's a
person.
really interesting idea, that, because I'm guessing it's going to be more difficult to write in the first person if you're suffering from anxiety or something like that.
Yeah.
But to actually, project it onto somebody else and look at it from a distance, it's maybe quite a good thing to do.
Yeah, it became really lethargic. Like it became sort of like a diary. In a way, like it was sort of like you kind of, even like through teenagers, you're kind of writing this stuff, and even though it's in the third person, you think, oh, I can't believe that kind of happened, and I've kind of get through it, and it's really helped a lot as well. Like,
So it's more observational really than actually experiencing it or re-experiencing it.
I've kind of, when I was talking to the writing group, I was kind of struggling. I was saying, like, would I put it in, would I not put it in? Like some of the stuff is really heavy, like what I have been through.
So what did they say? Did they say
they
put it in?
said it's up to you. You either put it all in or you decide. So I just thought, well, it's a mental health group, it's going to help people. People are going to read it. They might have been, I was bullied in school, so people might read it and say, oh, well, I was bullied in school.
And of course the good thing about putting the third person and giving the person another name is you might not get sued if you don't. If you say,
there's a few stories in there.
A few stories like that, well, I'll start with somebody called it was a different person altogether, wasn't me. But I think, it's an interesting concept that doing the third person. I've quite often write novels in the first person more recently. And it's kind of harder in that way to do that in some ways. But poetry as well.
Yeah, poetry was sort of my first way of writing. Yeah. Like starting the writing group, it was always poems.
I've known a lot of writers who start with poetry.
Yeah.
I was told I was rubbish at it, actually, so just carry it. Said the prose is okay, poetry, nah, not so good. Yeah. So I stuck with the writing. Yeah. But poetry, I did enjoy it, but it gets a lot of people into writing. Yeah. I
was always taught with poems, especially in school in English, that I had to rhyme. So it always took forever to write something.
Does it?
And then when I started the writing group, I was like, oh, that's actually...
it's quite liberating when you realise it doesn't have to rhyme all the time.
And like so many different poems, like writing a sonnet and a haiku. Like.
So the other thing I was going to ask you was, Lisa also works as Mentor Scotland?
Yeah, I've been a volunteer now for just over a year now.
Right. So how did you get into that?
The same as well, so 2023 for me it was just terrific. It was just one thing after another. My mental health took a really, really big dip. And it was a post on Facebook about a women's group in Benview on a Monday afternoon. And I thought, well, I'm not going there, I'm not going to sit in a room with strangers and tell them how I'm feeling, and I went along, and it was just, I just felt myself like opening up. I just kept, and I just felt myself, there's no judgment, and it's like you can talk about anything, like and it's I've always been taught that something small to somebody else is something massive to you, and that's what you kind of realise, that mentor, especially in the talking groups, that something small that's happened during the week, that can be small to somebody else, but to you it's just a massive thing. It's just been amazing what they've done for me.
Are you still going to that?
Yes, I've been a volunteer just over a year now.
Okay, so you're actually facilitating it now? Yeah,
so what we do is we do our talking group, so there's maybe about 3 or 4 of us. We've got the women groups, so we split up into male and females, so all the females are going to one room, and we kind of take it in turns.
Okay, and you were saying to talk about subjects how do you do that?
Yeah, so what it is, we kind of, the first maybe 3 or 4 questions are maybe trying to get you to talk, to get you to open up. So it's maybe the first question is usually, how's your week been?
Okay.
So you could just kind of say what you've done. Like, so I'm just back from London, so I could say I was in London at the weekend, and then had my interview for Lockwood TV. Like, I'll kind of say that on Friday when I go. Sometimes you could have a really bad week. Especially for me, like mental health, if I kind of take a wee dip, I could say maybe, well, it's actually been quite horrific. I've been not really done anything, I've been in the house all week. Yeah. And it's that way that no one's ever going to come out and judge. Oh. So you can talk about anything you want, like nothing's off the table. So you found it
really helpful?
Oh, it's been a massive help. I would never ever be able to sit in a room, even with something like a therapist, to talk about your feelings. And then you just come out and you just say, like...
So it really helps. It's quite cathartic, I guess. What would you say to somebody who has got problems, but they're too scared to go to a group like that?
You're not alone. Like, I always thought I was alone. Like, I always thought I was the only one that had suffered from anxiety and depression. Like, you're not alone. There are other people out there that do care. Like, you might be on your own in your house, but there are people out there, like in your local community, that do care about you. Like, because so I'm a suicide trained, and hearing how many suicides there's been in Western Bartonshire over the last year, it's just horrific. It's just, you just think they don't realise how much help there is out there.
You know, I think it's almost like an epidemic of mental health going on just now. It's quite sad, and if there's some help out there to be had, people hopefully will take it and take advantage of it. So it's good you're getting involved in that, and you're now helping other people.
Yeah, you see a massive difference. I mean, people come through the door, and so what we do is we do this thing called the battery, and it's like how you're feeling that day. So you could maybe be about 50-60%, and you could leave like 90%.
So you're recharged.
That's that massive thing, and we have had a few people that have come in out of their battery zero, or less than like 10%.
Yeah.
And then you say to them at the end of the night, what's your battery? And they say, it's about 60.
That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah.
That's great. Can we hear that poem?
Yeah, sure, yeah. So this is kind of, it was actually Jamie that asked me to write the poem to kind of put it on our social media.
Okay.
To what we do at Benview on a Friday night.
Okay.
So it's once a week we all head to Benview, pushing ourselves, especially if we are feeling blue. We sit together having a cuppa and a chat. I try not to have a biscuit as I'm trying to lose the fat. We then head into the room to share our woes, answering questions, sharing our stories as our confidence grows. To talk about our past, good or bad, talk about our week, what makes us sad. We answer the questions, say as much as we want to, as that's what mentor is intending to do. To let us know we are not alone. We don't have to go through things on our own. End the stigma, mental health isn't so bad. Don't let it take over. Don't let it make you sad. Topping is the best thing you can do, especially when you're feeling blue.
Wow, that's really powerful. So, quite emotional listening to that, sorry. But, that's lovely. Lisa, I just want to say thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
People can get the books on Amazon, I think, is that right?
Yeah.
And you've got a poetry book as well.
Yeah, so the bucket list, that's 2 parts. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Lisa Murray, author and poet, and and Mentor Scotland facilitator.
Yeah, come along on Friday.
Well, listen, thanks, and
thanks very much
thanks
for
very much
having
for on the programme, and that's it this time for Real People. Until next time, bye.